Assalamu alaikum. Today I'm here with another board game review, and today I'll be telling you that why you should play Yamatai for Queen Himiko's Smile. This is a game, Days of Wonder game by the famous Bruno Cathala designer, the one who made Five Tribes, and this was supposed to be a kind of a sequel to Five Tribes, and it does have kind of similar feel of being a very tactical rather than a strategic game. That is, the state of the board is going to change a lot by the time your turn comes around, and you have to think on the spot that what are you going to do now. So if you are going to think about a deep strategy of overall how you're going to play, throw that out of the window, because you will have to make snap decisions in this game about what you're going to do. This is a game about building the legendary city or islands of Yamatai as one of the great islands archipelago, that is a collection of islands in Japan. So let's get closer to the table, and then I will tell you how this game is played out briefly. Each player is going to get a handful of these kind of building structures in their own color. If you're playing with two players, just remember that the two colors are fixed, which are going to be orange and blue. Because of the chunky components, they have limited the amount of components in this game. So for three players, the amount of components required for the third player are limited to that, and for fourth player, the amount of components are limited to that. So for two player, the amount of components required are more, or the building structures required are more. So that's why you will be limited to only using the orange and the blue color for two-player games. So anyway, doesn't matter, I'm going to show you, and this is going to be the player board for each of the player. But the player board is just a glorified player aid rather than a player board. You don't need a player board in this game anyway. So this is going to exactly tell what steps you're going to do on your turn. The overall objective of the game, we want to send ships from this side of the board into the Yamatai Islands, explore these islands. As we explore, we pick up these tokens for exploration. These are called culture tokens, but I'll just say exploration tokens makes more thematic sense to say that you have explored this island. Only once you have explored the island, you will be able to build here. So until the culture token or exploration token is on the board, till then you are not allowed to build on it. So you must explore the island first, at least in one turn, and then maybe on the next turn you get to build it. So that's where slightly the competition is going to come, because one player gets to pick it up and the other player might snatch that opportunity and build it their structure. Now, how does the game work? First of all is going to be that each player is going to have given their meeples, which is going to decide the turn order for the game. So if you are playing with two players, then 4 meeples will be provided. But if you are playing with more players, then each player is going to have 1 meeple of their color. Then you are going to randomly select who goes first, who goes second, and accordingly place them on the board to indicate the turn order. And why you have to indicate that is because at the end of each round this is going to change and we get to decide. Because when you are selecting a worker placement spot, I'll say to a worker placement spot, which is the first turn, you also get to decide that on which turn do you activate next time around. So for example, these are the worker placement spots that are available right now. That is, these are the boats that are available for purchase that you can send for exploration. These boats are the different boats of different colors carrying different material. So we have coal, wood, bamboo, clay, and gold. So all of these boats except the gold can be traded against each other using money in the game. There are coins, beautiful coins, cardboard coins in the game, but the gold is the only resource which cannot be bought because it is very rare. So the first player gets to select that which boat does he need and what action is he going to do. So for example, I'm going to say that I am going to take a black boat, for example. What this is also indicating is, first of all, that I'm going to take a black boat. Also, it's indicating a number which tells me that next time my player turn order is going to be 3. So there is right now 8, 2, 9, 10 and 3. These will be randomized. There are 10 tiles on the board. 5 will be visible randomly, 5 will be not visible. So the numbers are from 1 to 10, and that indicates to me there is still a second number tile available for the player. So if anyone wants to go before me, they can still grab this tile, but I'm hoping they don't want to take this tile, so I'm okay with taking this tile. Now what did I get? I got a black boat. Then there is also going to be any kind of special action on these tiles. So for example, in this one I get to see the next 3 buildings that are going to become available. These are these buildings. So how do you build a structure around an island? That's the mechanism of recipe fulfillment. So for example, if I wanted to build a normal structure like this one, which is going to give me 3 points, then I will need 3 coal delivered to any of the island. As long as there are 3 coal boats adjacent to that island, then I will be able to claim this recipe fulfilled or building fulfilled, and I will be placing my building over there. So that's how you actually see. But as soon as a recipe is fulfilled, these tiles are going to change, and then the new tiles are going to come. But what this is allowing me to do is that from the deck of, or the tiles that are still going to come, I will be picking up 3 and seeing that do I want these tiles to come to me in the next round. If I like them, I will place them back on the tiles that are going to come in the future. If I don't like what I'm seeing right now and I want some different kind of tiles to come, I'll put them at the bottom. How will I know that in the start? In the start it doesn't matter much, but as soon as you start having more and more boats and you start having more boats around the island, then you will be able to make better decisions that which boats are already available next to island. So maybe X recipe fulfillment, X building conditions are easier to meet, and that's what I'm going to do. But this is one of the actions that I have done. The second thing I can do is I can use coins to buy, as I said, any other boat as well, because a single boat maybe I will not be able to do much, but using the coins in the game, every player starts with a handful of coins, 10 coins to be exact. Using these coins I can buy additional boats. So for example, if I was really going for this boat, the black coal boats are going to go for be purchased for 3 coins. It's my choice. I want to buy it right now, or I want to hold on to this money for the time being. Maybe I want to start to do one thing. I'll buy one more boat, or let's say I don't do anything right now. I'll just keep my money with myself, and maybe next time, because I still have one more turn, I'll wait for next time. And don't do, this is not a mandatory action. I can sell a boat, I can buy a boat using this. Even right now I have a black boat. I can sell that black boat for 3 coins and then buy 3 of the green boats if I wanted, with 1 coin each. But of course on each of the turn you can do this only one time, so you can buy only 1 boat, not so many boats. On multiple turns you will be able to do that. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place these boats. This is a mandatory action. You have to place these boats and then accordingly either build a structure or explore the island, that is take a culture coin. So for example, if I wanted to start exploration, this is the boats area entry point. I want to start exploring from here. So I will place a boat here. Let me place it flat so that you can see. So if I place a boat here on this area, now this boat is adjacent to these 2 islands. At this point I will be able to either build a structure, which I cannot do right now because I'm not meeting any of the conditions that are given here on these building requirements. But what I can do is explore one of these islands. So let's say I explored this island which also has a mountain on it. And what's the advantage of a mountain? I'll come to that later. So this culture token will also come to me. Then if I have any leftover boats which I have decided not to place, one of those boats can come in the harbor. If you have more than 1 boat stored by the end of your turn, then they count as a negative point for you. So ideally you do want to place more and more boats and maximum keep 1 in your stock. Then what you are going to do is, if you have enough culture tokens, why we are collecting these culture tokens? The more exploration you do, the more culture tokens you have, then you can buy one of these advisors on top of the board. So if you have two of a kind or three entirely different culture tokens, because these have different symbols, using that you can buy one of these advisor, and they are going to give you some special abilities. Some will increase the number of victory points you get to have. Some will let you take the money from other player once they purchase something, when they get the money. One will let you get entry point from any adjacent any outer edge circles. So there are many different advisors and their abilities. So as long as you have that advisor, it becomes a passive ability for you, a special power for you, which you get to keep using in your future turns. But of course you have to have explored enough islands for that, currently which is not my state. And that's the end of the turn. Then the next player will go, they will choose one of the actions, then my turn will come next. I'll choose one of the actions, which is going to be, for example, this one, which is going to give me one black and one brown boat. So I will get one black, one brown boat. The other player, well, in similar fashion, let's say they got a brown boat, so they will have to place that brown boat as well. They will be doing all that thing, but now the condition is going to be that brown boat either starts from here or can start from the end of an existing boat route. But when they are going to place that boat, it needs to match the same color as the last boat at least. So they will not be able to place this brown boat next to a black boat. So they have to start from a new area, and they will be picking up their culture token and taking it to their side. Now when I get a brown and a black boat, I have more options. I can start with the black boat, and then it's up to me. First condition is necessary, but then after that I can do as many boats, as many colors as I want. So as long as the first condition is met, I can do whatever I want. Plus, using my money, let's say I paid 3 coins and I was able to buy another black boat, and using this I extended my route as well. Now what I have done is I have met the condition that adjacent to this island, which has already been explored, there are 3 black boats. So this condition has been met. I can build my structure and claim this as a completed objective for myself. Once I complete this objective, I will be taking this tile, putting it face down. So these are victory points for me in the bag. But also what I was able to do was build a structure on top of a mountain. At the bottom of this, there are going to be certain conditions for additional victory points. So if I'm able to build a structure on a mountain, I'm going to get additional 1 victory point. If I'm able to build adjacent to any of the shrines or palaces, so let's say this shrine was here, later on built, first built, and then I was able to do this, then I will be getting 1 point for building on, 1 victory point for building on mountain, and 1 victory point for building next to a torii gate or a palace. So there are torii gates and palaces which I can build next to. So that's also an option, that first I build these kind of ritual sites or holy sites, and then I build next to them for earning more points. Then what else is going to matter in the point scheme is that how many structures I'm able to build adjacent to each other. Of course, these need to be explored and culture token removed and their condition met and the boards given, everything as I said before. But the more I have in a cluster, every time I build a new one, so once I place the first one, there are 2 buildings now here, so I will get 2 coins. Once I place a third in a cluster, then I will get 3 coins. So that's a way to earn more income as well. So that's how different kind of scoring works, as well as how income is going to work as well, that I get to earn more and more money. So you're trying to collect culture tokens to collect advisors, using money to buy boats, and then using boats to build the structures, deliver the goods to a particular island and reach those structures. Each of these action locations is also going to have some kind of special abilities. For example, this one is going to swap 2 boats at any location. So later on, this player, if he chooses this and he wanted, and he got a green boat and a red boat, but he actually wanted a brown boat next to his, so he started maybe a route, because he cannot continue either this route or this route because he has red and green. But he wanted a brown board. So what he can do is, using this ability, he can swap a red with the brown board, and now there are two adjacent brown boards next to this one. So there are some special powers. This lets you block one of the tiles or keep it in your private collection, that only you can build this. This is going to let you build the palace with one condition ignored. This lets you pick up one red, one brown, and one board of your choice. As soon as a round is done, then everyone is going to see all the meeples are moved. Then everyone is going to see where they were placed. So for example, this was placed on 3, this was placed on 9, this was placed on 2, this was placed on 8, and this is now the new player order that the players will go in. This tile was never used, so it will remain, and new tiles will open up. They will slide towards this side, and the used tiles will get shuffled up and get placed here again for the next round to come in. So slowly the market is going to shift with the new actions as well. Same goes for advisors. Any advisors which were not placed, there is going to be a money placed on top of them, so that next time if someone, because nobody bought these advisors, so we are going to place a 2 value coin on them, and if nobody purchases them again, their cost is their advantage is going to increase. Not only these advisors are going to give you special abilities, but victory points as well, plus they are going to come with money as well, that okay, hire this advisor and you get money. So that's how the game makes these advisors more and more lucrative for people to pick them up, or maybe wait another turn and get them more lucrative, and then you pick them up. So that's how the game is going to work. You're going to continue your board routes matching the color, and then using these special abilities. So some abilities will let you push the board, some abilities will let you swap these tiles, some abilities are going to block even islands by placing a holy dragon on them. So it's a holy site that gets found and nobody can build on that. Things like that are going to come up on these special tiles. This one is going to just let you remove 2 ships from the board. So if an island was getting blocked and you really needed to change some of the boats so that you can complete a special kind of building, then you can even delete or remove some of the ships and then change them up. Slowly this board is going to, you will start from one side and slowly keep going towards the end and slowly fill this island with beautiful meeples and buildings all across the landscape. And that's how the game of Yamatai is going to be played out. Now my opinion about this game is going to be that again, as I had said in the intro, if you're going to like tactical games, then this game is going to suit you a lot. But if you're looking for a deep strategy game in which you can think from start to beginning, start to the end, that this is how I'm going to play, this is what I'm doing, then maybe this isn't going to suit you. Now for the tactical players, there is a lot to love in this game. The turns are very simple. You get to pick only few worker placement spots what you can consider are going to be there. The turns are simple. This is what you get to pick. So you will get some few boats as resources. Additional you can buy on your turn, and then you get to place them, and based on that, if you are able to build it, or otherwise pick up culture tokens. So the game actually flow is very quick in that sense. The only thing that slows down that thing is because there is no great strategy, it's more tactical. So some players will take time to analyze the board, that oh, now it's my turn, now I will start thinking what do I do. Even though you can start planning something based on what the other player is doing, but many players don't like to give that kind of attention. So that does slow down the game a bit, because the other player just starts thinking after the last one is done with their turn, which slows down the turn speed, which otherwise should not happen, because the game, the turn itself is going to be very quick. Oh, a blue, I need a red boat, I need a brown boat. It should be as simple as that. So with that caveat out of the way, or the corn out of the way. The game itself looks beautiful on the board. Once this board is filled up, the table presence is going to be immense. Once people walk around, they are going to say, oh, that looks beautiful. The wooden pieces, the chunky pieces are good to feel, to hold. Even the huts, they didn't need to be this big. They could have just used like Monopoly or Catan's like small houses. But by giving these hefty wooden blocks that you have to place on your islands as buildings, oh, they just elevate the flavor, the love for the game much more. And that's why I do think that if you're a fan or even not a fan, this game is going to be an attractive game for everyone. So from a looks perspective, Days of Wonder, again, their productions are always top class, and this game is no exception. Gameplay wise, it's it's okay. So my hesitation must have told you that it gets a little dinge just because of that tactical nature, too much reliance on tactical nature, that there isn't enough strategic element. But still, I love the flow of the game, that you have to think on your feet. What can I do which best suits me now? If you like that kind of thing, then the gameplay is going to be an awesome feeling for you. So just like Five Tribes, where each turn is going to give you new opportunities and you have to think on the spot, this game is going to be no different as well. So if you like that kind of using that comparison, do think that if you like that kind of game, then this game is going to be similar as well, but a lot more beautiful than Five Tribes. Even though Five Tribes is considered as the better game, or which had more life than this, but I do think this is an overlooked gem, and people need to give this a little bit more try, because in the end I was getting a lot of feeling like Five Tribe while playing this, but enjoying the overall component quality and the table presence much more than Five Tribes. So again, I'm comparing too much with Five Tribes. This is a game in itself, in its own. This is not a Five Tribe Part 2. This is an entirely different game. The only real comparison is that both are tactical games. So it's not fair to keep comparing them. So I will try to stop and just tell you that on its own merit, this is a really good game. Not the best just because of those dangers. It might not suit everyone, but for those whom this is going to suit are the tactical players, and for them this is going to be a lovely piece of cake that they are going to enjoy eating. So with that, I'm going to end this review. Hopefully my opinions were useful for you in making your decision that whether this game is going to be a good choice for you or not. That's it for me. Happy gaming.